we normally can predict some of these criticisms that come in, before every budget. Anand, can you give us some stock criticisms that come in every year without fail?
No, Navika, this is anti-farmer, anti-poor, anti-middle class, anti-Times Now budget. Oh, sorry. I just went in the run of things. No, but this is to be protected. I was saying protected. I was saying this is to be expected by the opposition. But I would go by what Monica's analysis is. The fact of the matter is, when you give an interim budget, you look at not more than 2 or 3 parameters, because not much is going to change. Not, as Prasanjit has already said, not much is going to be advertised also, what the government is going to do. Importantly, the government has said that it's going to bring down its debt to GDP ratio through cutting on fiscal deficit. I would say, if that is the take-home message, let that be one take-home message, 5.1% of the GDP.
Well, let me get in Rajiv Mantri. Rajiv Mantri, once again, emphasis on capital expenditure, 11.5 lakh crores. So, it is, as we said, bowling straight, stump to stump bowling. Consolidation budget that this is. These are the middle overs. Whatever new has to be done will be done in the July budget if this government comes back or any other government comes back. But right now, straight and narrow. But let's listen in to Tharurisms which are coming from Parliament.
Language, very little concrete on implementation. Some serious questions about areas of omission. No reference to the success or failure of the PLI scheme, which is taking so much money. It's about foreign direct investment, without acknowledging that it has come down as a percentage of GDP, not gone up. She talked about... She didn't talk about unemployment, which has gone up to record levels. She didn't talk about youth unemployment. She didn't talk about declining female labor participation when talking about Nari Shakti. So there were so many omissions. I must say that this is going to be a very, very disappointing speech in terms of being couched entirely in generalities and without enough substance, nor any willingness to address the specific problems of the economy. She could have taken credit for certain things and challenged certain things, but instead what she gave us was nothing but unvarnished PR kind of rhetoric.
So GDP has been given the new definition, that is governance, development and performance under the leadership of Prime Minister.
Yeah, the GDP I see is government disruption. I see not just not development, but rather, frankly, demographic betrayal of the young. And when I see P, I see poverty rising, and particularly inequality at the bottom echelons of our society. So GDP has a very different meaning in what we are seeing in the country than what she is saying.
Right, it is once again.
Poverty rising when 250 million people have been pulled out in the last 9 years from multidimensional poverty. What is Dr.
It's a fraudulent number.
A fraudulent number.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Everything else is fraudulent. Except the hammer and sickle. They are the real parameters.
We have the data.
There is an IMF paper. There's a World Bank paper.
No.
It
may not be fraudulent.
Okay.
But
Okay, 1 minute. What's your point?
No, first I would like to just mention something about fiscal consolidation.
I think that was not going down. If poverty was getting alleviated, why are all these welfare schemes being extended? Why is free rations? If you are so poor, if you are no longer poor, why do 80 crore people need free rations? If poverty has been alleviated?
All right.
Exactly.
No, that is the logic. 1 minute. Now listen to the answer.
Try running a business. You will find it hard to get labor. You will find it hard to find workers.
Absolutely.
Yes, please run a business once you come to know.
You may be running some peculiar business.
Their business, their full-time business is to take on the government, and they're doing that.
But in a labor surplus economy, today we have a situation where it's hard to find workers.
1 minute, gentlemen.
Because of the scale of welfare we have now.
Gentlemen, always bow down to the lady and the lady.
Two numbers that I've just pulled out of budgets at a glance. So the budget documents have just been uploaded. One is that the borrowing number is showing a downward trend, which is great. It's from 34% of the total expenditure, we are down to 28%, which is good news because it's
6% down.
6 percentage points down. And we are beginning to see buoyancy in personal income tax collections. So from 15% of total expenditure, it's at 19%, which points to both formalization an increase in the number of people paying per right now from the budget, which both are positive to me.
All right. Mahesh Bigala, leader of the BRS, joining this broadcast. And Mahesh Bigala, your sense, of course, there's not much in terms of new announcement, but consolidation and not giving in to the freebie temptation that is there for every government ahead of elections. Modi government hasn't really given in to that. Do you think they should be congratulated for just the consolidation of the finances, bringing down the debt as a percentage of GDP and focusing once again on the weaker sections of the society?
So Modi government always goes on with one agenda before going for the polls. So this time they have the Ram Mandir just before going for the polls. So probably they don't need to address the middle class when they're going. But, this is a vote on account budget. And I would say for the BJP government, this would be the last budget. Nirmala Sitharaman ji or Modi ji would be, probably they are too much optimistic about getting the 400 numbers, 300 numbers. But what they have done in terms of the performance in the country, it is especially GDP.
That's rich coming from the BRS. That's rich coming from the BRS, which has lost Telangana. Sanju Verma raising a hand. Sanju Verma.
Yeah, we'll come back. Let me finish and then Sanju will give the opportunity for the Sanju Verma. The state of, especially all South Indian states, you look at the GSDP of the South Indian states and what is their contribution for the national GDP. So if you look at the GDP, what the BJP is claiming their GDP is, it's all because of most of the contributions are coming from the South, and especially from the...
Okay, now GDP also has to be counted in North and South. Sanju Verma, please, before you respond, let me get in Jyotiraditya Scindia, Minister for Civil Aviation, what his reaction to the budget is.
एक आत्मनिर्भर भारत का लक्ष्य, एक विश्व गुरु बनने का लक्ष्य, उन तीनों लक्ष्यों के प्रति पूर्ण श्रद्धा के साथ और गति के साथ भारत बढ़ चुका है। हमारी चार जो जात प्रधानमंत्री के मस्तिष्क में है, हमारी महिलाएं, हमारे नौजवान, हमारे गरीब, हमारे अन्नदाता, उनके पूर्ण रूप से ऊर्जावान होने के आधार पे ही भारत आगे बढ़ेगा। और जो नए नए कीर्तिमान हर एक क्षेत्र में हमने स्थापित किए हैं, चाहे अधोसंरचना हो, चाहे प्रधानमंत्री आवास योजना हो, चाहे गरीब कल्याण योजना हो, चाहे आयुष्मान कार्ड योजना हो, एक एक क्षेत्र में हमारे नौजवानों ने नए कीर्तिमान स्थापित किए हैं, चाहे ओलंपिक्स हो, चाहे कोई भी प्रतिस्पर्धा हो। भारत अब आगे बढ़ चुका है। यही समय है, सही समय है। बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद।